We're 1.5 years into the build of our 50-foot sailboat. Most recently, we turned the hull around, and we have removed all the temporary frames and support stands from the inside of the hull.
It's looking so nice in here, but outside it's totally chaos.
Yeah, it's starting to look pretty okay out here now. Most of the stuff is removed, the temporary frames. I still have the strong back on the floor in here. We might keep that in here until it's time to start building that playground for Vera. So the plan for today is to continue with the shelves in the stable so we can get more stuff out of here and get more organized. It will make it a lot easier to keep everything nice and tidy.
The whole family helped out, and Vera carried scrap wood to the box where we store firewood.
Efter dig. Hej! Mamma!
Ja.
Här är vätbusken.
Now, building from scrap pieces and saved screws definitely takes a bit longer, but it feels good to be able to use all of that otherwise would have just been scrap.
Pappa, kolla. Åker bil.
Är det en bil?
En gubbe
Är det-
som åker bil.
En bil, en lastbil.
Är det alla hjulen där?
Ja,
Så många hjul.
ja och lastbil har ögon och glasögon.
Okej.
Ditt
Jaha, så det är
ansikte.
framåt. Nu förstår jag, okej. Är det glasögonen?
Ja, det är glasögon.
Mhm. Och näsan. Är det en bok? Okej. Ja.
This Saturday has been a work day as well. Just trying to get these shelves finished now so we can put all the things in here.
We screwed the last piece in place right before midnight. The next day, we started filling up the shelves. We've been land-based for 2 years now, and time has flown by so fast. Having projects and adventures has always been our thing. And now we have land-based projects and adventures on the farm and away from the farm, until we're out cruising again. Which is good too, but we never forget about the sea.
So the shelves are now finished, and I think it turned out really good, and it feels really good that we could use all of this scrap wood for to build something out of it. And maybe it's not the prettiest shelves, but at least it's sturdy, and that's what's most important now. And as you can see, I haven't crammed stuff in here, and that's because we want to have a nice overview so we can find stuff fast, and that's the whole purpose of these shelves. It's not just storage, it's like a working storage. So hopefully this will help us cut down the time that we spend running around looking for stuff in the barn, tools and accessories. But it's already pretty apparent that we could have had twice the amount of shelf space, so maybe in the future that we will build more shelves in the box, in the stable box next to this one.
One strawberry. Let's check here. A small one. It's been a battle trying to sow things because we have so much slugs. This year is crazy, and they eat everything. So I have so many plants that has been eaten up, and things that I've sowed that I never even saw coming up or sprouting, because it probably got eaten before that. Quite big one. And here we have swift potatoes, the earliest one. I think they're getting ready, and we want to eat them this week because it's midsummer when you eat the fresh potatoes. But we are fighting against invasive weeds, kvickrot, I don't know the name in English, coming up through the cloth that we have. Reddish. They've been going quite well. My dahlias, they are fighting, but surviving. They're surviving, but not thriving. One got eaten up, but it's actually coming new sprouts. So we'll see if there is any hope left. Vera's carrots, there are like 3.
So finally, it's time to start building on the actual boat again. There's been tons of work lately, but not on the actual boat. So it feels great to get back doing that instead. And I thought now is a good opportunity to bring everyone up to speed on the next steps in the building process. Some of you have asked from last week's episode why we decided to remove all the bulkheads. Because I've been saying in many videos that we were going to do that in steps, take out a few of them and put in a permanent bulkhead, and then removing more of them. And the reason we decided to do it this way is that we found out that the hull is actually much stiffer now at this stage than we thought it would be. So it's really no problem having the hull like this. And also we have more supports under the hull right now. We have more supports in the stern and in the bow, and also extra support under the hull in between the cradle boxes. Just to be sure, it's not really needed since the hull is very, very stiff. But this will make it a lot easier to continue with the work inside, to sand the inside here, which is the first thing that we'll start with, to really rough sand everything here to get rid of any squeeze out of epoxy. So after we have sanded everything, we will fill all those screw holes with epoxy, and if there's any gaps between any planks, we will fill those as well with thickened epoxy. And then it's time to start laminating the inside. The good thing now is that we're only doing 3 layers of fiberglass on the inside. So the whole process should be a lot faster than it was on the outside. And since the whole inside of the hull will be covered with the interior later on, we don't have to do any fairing, only a layer of white paint probably. So everything in here should be a lot faster than the whole process on the outside. So once the lamination is finished, it's time to start building the keel grid, which will be a pretty major job. We will have 2 lengthwise stringers just next to the keel area here, and 10, if I'm remembering correctly, 10 floors in this direction. And this grid will take up the forces generated by the keel. And once we're finished with the keel grid, it's time to start building the actual interior, the bulkheads, walls, yeah, everything else in here.
We rented a trailer and we were bringing a lot of things to the recycling station.
Här kommer 22an eller? Ja.
Du sparar den. Det kan vara kul här.
Ja, det kan vi göra. We decided that we're gonna save frame number 22. So we never forget about the temporary frames, all the work it took to build them.
While waiting for the recycling station to open, we filled up the other car with cardboard to drive to a smaller station. Now it looks this nice on the inner yard. Then Johan started sanding. And the next day, big things were happening in the garden as we had a guy raking the ground and sowing grass. And in the barn, we had a young apprentice helping us out. Our sailing interested neighbor Olaf had finished school and wanted something to do. While Olaf was sanding, Johan started filling some screw holes and gaps. An eventful day on Sunhill Farm. We wish you a nice summer solstice and see you again here next week.